It's been 2 days since the biggest crypto gaming launch in history happened. Today, I want to break down, as someone that has traded millions of dollars in the crypto gaming space, what exactly is happening with GUNZ, what you should know about GUNZ, and of course, Gunzilla's ecosystem, and more. So let's get into it. The current market dynamic for GUNZ, currently valued at $551 million in terms of a fully diluted valuation, is high for the crypto gaming space. They got listed onto Binance, the biggest crypto exchange on the planet. And with that comes some pros and some cons. Their flagship title, Off the Grid, seeks to take some of its revenue, 30% to be exact, and that's going to be, of course, put into the GUNZ token as a play-to-earn mechanic. So play to earn, yes, is going to be coming back, and they're also going to have quite a lot of speculation from the NFT side, as some of these NFTs in the Off the Grid ecosystem have sold for over $3,000, $4,000 at this point, and some are speculated to, or rumored at current GUNZ prices, to have sold for over $10,000. So what do we have to look forward to, and what is happening with the actual GUNZ token? Well, what I think is happening is very simple. This token launched on Binance's launchpool. The Binance launchpool gives a percentage of the supply directly to Binance launchpool participants. If you did not know, that's kind of how it works. They give you a bit of a deal, but you have to compromise. And what happened is 4% of the supply went directly to the Binance launchpool, and they only launched with 6%, which means that normal people only got access to somewhere around 2% of the token, while 66% of the supply was directly to these Binance launchpool people. What GUNZ wants to do, and I think this is very standard playbook in the crypto space, is they want these Binance launchpool people to take profit over the course of the first 3-ish days. They don't want the chart to be attractive, and they want to set up for a massive short squeeze. Now, what I mean by that is leveraged positions to the downside are very common when it comes to crypto gaming tokens, especially Binance launchpool tokens. People want this thing to go down, because it's very easy to do a trade when you know for a fact a bunch of people that do not care about Off the Grid, aka people in the Binance launch pool, get access to 66% of the supply. They're going to be dumping that thing as fast as possible, and that's going to be as simple as that. So what happens is, for the first couple of days, we get a bunch of people shorting, thinking it's going to go to the downside, and then we get some beautiful setups. Now, I think the liquidation heat map for GUN is in a beautiful position for a breakout. If you look, these more concentrated lines, these are some of the more big, major breakout levels for Off the Grid if they can go ahead and get their token to these levels. Now, if we look to the downside, there's a decent amount of support, but really nothing crazy, to be completely honest. We have much more upside potentially here for GUN at the about 5.9 cent range. If we can break above that, there's really not much here until we hit about 6.3 cents. And if we could break 6.3, then we can go much, much, much higher, because these yellow lines, they are concentrated breakout liquidation zones. And what I would guess is Off the Grid, or, GUNZ here, they're preparing for a short squeeze. They're preparing to go ahead and squeeze these guys out, which is why there's so many walls right here. If we could break one, it's much more easy to break this one. And then if we could break this one, there's not much here until we hit about 6.3, which would set us up for a pretty massive breakout. If we look over the weekly and the upper levels here, of course, the old all-time high, people have some leverage there. And we also have some shorts at about the 8-cent range. So we'll have to see. This 7-cent breakdown is a huge level for GUN, and kind of what we're looking at. Other things to look at, this is the macro perspective of GUN's ecosystem. This is only the flagship title Off the Grid. There's going to be more in the GUN ecosystem, much more. In terms of a breakout for the crypto gaming space, this is it. They're going to have a ton of users. They're going to have a lot of people playing. Other things you should know is that this investment is very much catered toward retail and Binance, only because the tokenomics give a heck of a lot of cliff. And the cliff just means they don't get tokens until the cliff hits. Pretty much all the cliffs across the board are 12 months. You've got about a year of trading until the supply really starts seeping in. I wouldn't be too concerned about inflation over the course of the first year of GUNZ. I would be more concerned over price stability, because once we get this price stability here and these liquidations settled, Honestly, I'm pretty damn bullish. I'm pretty damn bullish on GUNZ. So I would want to see some price stability, which we're starting to see some. We're starting to see a Bitcoin breakout as well. So we have to see how that goes today for, Trump's Liberation Day. But we see the stabilization. We see the shorts kind of get squeezed out, and things are looking really good. Right now, we have a couple things working against us. One is the funding rates. The funding rates are still positive, which means that shorts are actually getting paid to short. They're literally getting paid to go ahead and short, which is not a good thing because that incentivizes shorts to stay in the market longer. But it could also be seen as Gun preparing to go ahead and trick people and get them shorting so that they can squeeze the price upward, which I think, it's a double-edged sword. Usually in the crypto space, that's kind of how it goes. I would lean toward kind of this level being a pretty solid DCA level. This isn't a level where you go all in, but we're starting to look like a solid DCA level is forming for the first time since launch. In my opinion, this chart looks a lot more bottomed out than it did in the beginning, where it made absolutely no sense to trade. And overall, as the first Binance AVAX game to be listed, and the first crypto game to be listed in over a year, a lot of people are betting on GUNZ being a success, which I think inevitably it will be a success at its current valuation. As the FDV taps into the market cap, we'll see how that kind of goes long term. But I'm not concerned. I'm concerned a year from now whether or not Off the Grid was a success or not, because right now the numbers are good. Is it going to be good in a year? Are they going to use a lot of their revenue in these token buybacks? Are they going to be able to afford it? Are they going to be able to raise more money to keep Off the Grid running? Off the Grid's an expensive game to run. A lot of factors that we just do not know yet. How's the mainnet going to go for GUNZ? Is the mainnet for GUNZ coming soon? It is. It's coming pretty damn soon. Is that going to go well? Are we going to kill it? At least for the short term, these are kind of the levels I'm looking for. These are the liquidation levels that will really clear out GUNZ to the upside. And personally, what I am looking as an investor. As a gamer, I'm extremely bullish on Off the Grid. I've been playing a heck of a lot of Off the Grid lately. I am one of the best crypto gaming creators when it comes to video games. I have an amateur esports background in League of Legends. I'm very excited to see where this thing goes, because really it only starts with Off the Grid. It's going to go to many more games in the Gunzilla ecosystem. And they're also deep into the validator NFT narrative, which are the nodes, right? Nodes are a big thing on the channel and something that has been consistently profitable over a long enough time frame in the crypto gaming space. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. That's going to be all. Stay classy, and that's all.